Good morning. It is Thursday, July 25th. And the interesting thing that happens to me when I meditate, I'm able to slow my mind down. I am, and I'm able to just focus on my breathing. And sometimes I can do that and really just sort of be in that state where I'm truly not thinking about anything for many, many minutes. And I experienced a guided meditation that was incredible, 45 minutes long. I mean, just an intense time. So, to really begin to see your power as a high achieving person. And I am directing this towards, again, anybody and everybody, right? Because it can apply, and it's a skill, meditation, and quieting yourself that we all should be practicing and engaging in every single day, if only for a couple of minutes. But the people that are going to really have the most challenging time are the ones who struggle with slowing down. And a lot of times, those are people that are very, very high achieving in whatever their work is. And when I sit down, more often than not, and it's probably not aided by the fact that my vision board happens to be right above, very purposely, my first vision board. My second one is on a different wall in my room. But my very, very first one that I ever did, the one that has been manifesting, the sort of phrases and pictures I put on this vision board, and I am going to actually post pictures of it along with this podcast, so that others can see how simple it is. You just need 1 or 2 magazines. If you've got 3 or 4 magazines, that's plenty. And you get to decide, you'll see I put 2 above size pieces of construction paper together. So mine is a pretty good size vision board. And then my second one I actually put on a piece of poster board. But part of the reason I know my mind when I meditate, there's just a clarity. There's a clarity that comes. And so a lot of profound revelations happen with all the information in my head. I see a new combination that is applicable to my life right now, oftentimes when I'm sitting here completely quiet and trying to disengage my mind, that clarity comes. And this is evidence. Again, I was just trying to start to meditate, and my impatience, and I'm trying, right, to put this all together, but my impatience made me stop with the meditation, go out to the living room, get the recorder, and come back. Because what I just realized in a new way is this interesting aspect of being a kid, yet in the sense that I'm a kid in this way and have always been, it's really, let me just say it rather than try to dance around it. But it's kind of hard to explain. Well, so if you're a kid, right, one of the things that makes kids so, sometimes, they're so real. They're so real, and they take things really, really literally in some cases. So when you're a kid and somebody tells you this is not good. This is not good. But let me just get let me try to talk through this, because this is what's totally mucked me up as an adult, and it's about being real. Okay, if somebody tells me they're a Catholic, right? Now, as an adult now that's lived in the world, I understand that most Catholics, because I see it in dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of Catholics that I've known in my life. Cafeteria Catholics. I know tons of Catholics. Let's just take the big issues. I know a ton of people that identify as Catholic that do not believe in, that are pro-choice. I know a ton of Catholics that use birth control. I know a ton of Catholics that have got divorced. Okay, let's just look at that. Because as an adult, what have we learned? As an adult, I've learned that, oh yeah, that's just what Catholic means. You pick and choose. Well, you know what? As a kid, and as an adult, this is the part of me. As a kid, you don't yet know that. If you hear somebody, and if you're a bright kid, and you hear somebody as a Catholic, and you know and you're taught what the Catholic beliefs are, and then you see the hypocrisy around you, how in the world do you know what to believe is truth and right and wrong when it's look at the example. Look at the examples that we're setting in our world. No wonder kids have it's no wonder. And then we tell them that they're the ones that are messed up? I don't think so. I have said before, there are more kids than ever before being born in this day and age, and they are the ones that have way more to teach their parents than vice versa. Because this is the awakening and the remembering. And more souls are choosing to be born at this time because it's the most powerful time in the world. And the closer they are to being babies, the easier it is for them to remember if they're in a conducive environment that is real and honest and it can acknowledge that. Instead, in our country, we got hypocrisy left and right. And see, I was a bright kid and I took in everything. So I took in, and I never ever could reconcile that because as an adult, I wasn't going to become a hypocrite. I have lived. I've not lived my own truth because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to read what I was feeling about myself. But I have always lived a congruent, consistent. You will not. I don't know if there's an example. No, I have always, I'm not saying I was perfect, not at all. But I have always owned up. I have always owned up to what was mine. I have always apologized. I've always acknowledged my mistakes. Never have I given myself hardly any credit for all the things I've accomplished. But in terms of trying to be consistent, of trying to be real and genuine, that is exactly why I have all these relationships. Well, used to, until the great irony is now, I thought I had people that it's amazing. It's amazing. It's about realness and hypocrisy. And as an adult, I'm not. I've talked a little bit earlier about the kid parts of me that I'm holding on to now and embracing and trying to encourage all the adults to let loose a little bit because that's what's killing all of us. It's slowly killing you. Holding all this in, trying to be all and forgetting that what is wrong with acting like a kid in terms of like letting your spirit fly. Stop being so darn practical. Stop judging. It's real. It's real. So if I see somebody, and it's innocent and it's immature, right? Now I understand that everybody's doing the best they can when they follow these beliefs or when they have something. But that was a part of me as an adult that was a part that was stunted in kidhood that I just kind of innocently assumed that everybody was going through life like I was. where you owned up what was yours, and I could never do some of the things that have been done to me. Oh my God, a few of them, they're so far from what I could ever do to somebody else. And I don't, thank God, I don't have many of those sorts of experiences. But I just, because even if the shoe was on, I've always put myself with the shoe on the other foot. I always, almost, like I said, to the point where it's been detrimental to my own life, where I'm always putting the shoe on is putting myself in the other person's shoes. God, it's morning time here, and I've been up for a couple of hours, but my thoughts are obviously a little muddled today for some reason already. So I won't keep this podcast. But it helps me just kind of talk through this. It's the innocence. It's the innocence and naivety. And so when I meet as an adult, I would meet other adults, and rather than recognize and understand that in some cases they're not trying to be hypocritical or inconsistent, but in a lot of cases we've accepted that as acceptable. It's acceptable. And I'm sorry, it's not a judgment. It's just, why call yourself something if you're not? Why? Why not find, investigate another belief, another, And if you're doing that, and everybody's got an example of doing that in their life, then who the hell are you to label or judge anybody else? And God, this isn't about me being perfect. I'm not perfect, but I am a good human being. I'm an amazing human being, and I have been my entire life. I've understood my entire life that it was more than us. And to a point where I didn't take care of myself, and you do have to take care of yourself first. And everybody's got a different understanding of what that is. Some people think that's, okay, I'm going to take care of me and my own first, and we're not going to be good until we have $10 million in the bank, or what, so I understand that that's a very subjective, open-ended thing. So part of it is not only to tell you, you got to take care of yourself first, but you got to understand